Still think the desert can offer nothing but endless seas of sand and dunes? Then you're in luck that you clicked on our video today. We'll show you the amazing things hidden in the Sahara Desert. Did you know that the desert is home to countless species, that the Sahara was once a green paradise, and that there may be Atlantis ruins here? Stay with us and discover the fascinating secrets of this surreal Sahara world. Contrary to common belief, the Sahara isn't the largest desert on Earth. That title goes to Antarctica. However, in the category of dry deserts, no other area comes close to the colossal size of the Sahara. It stretches from the Atlantic coast of Africa to the Red Sea coast, covering over 9 million square kilometers. To put it in perspective, Germany could fit into the Sahara 26 times. Despite its vastness, the Sahara is on the rise. In the last 100 years, its area has increased by 10%, with 1/3 of this change attributed to climate change. While we often envision the Sahara as an endless sea of sand with no other types of landscapes, in reality, sandy dunes make up only 20% of its total area. Away from the dunes, the Sahara offers rocky and stony deserts, as well as gravel plains and mountains. Although the Sahara is not known for its rich wildlife, it is home to various animal species, including camels, antelopes, foxes, mice, and more. You can also find snakes, scorpions, beetles, birds, and spiders. Most of these creatures are nocturnal, hiding from the scorching daytime heat. While the average air temperature in the Sahara is around 35 degrees Celsius, the sun can heat the sand to twice that temperature, making it feel like you're on a scorching griddle. The highest recorded temperature in the Sahara stands at 57.7 degrees, measured in the Libyan desert. Due to the lack of clouds, the heat absorbed during the day can radiate back into the atmosphere, causing temperatures to drop dramatically at night. Speaking of the lack of clouds, the Sahara receives only about 45 mm of rainfall on average. Although there are sometimes extreme differences between individual regions. Despite the lack of water and extreme temperature fluctuations, many plants have managed to adapt to the inhospitable conditions of the desert. Researchers have identified at least 14 plant species in the Sahara. To survive, these plants have developed complex survival strategies to reach the shallow water table. Acacias, for example, form what are known as toothpick roots that penetrate up to 80 meters deep. Singing dunes and lakes. Some of the Sahara's dunes reach heights of over 430 meters. These shifting sand dunes are known for their constant movement. Some of them have a surprisingly musical talent, producing loud humming sounds as sand slides down the dunes. In some places, the desert's song can be heard for more than 10 kilometers, and these sand songs can last up to 15 minutes. In other parts of the Sahara, strange pieces of meteorites, weathered from impacts millions of years ago, can be found. The Nile is the only river in the Sahara, and even though precipitation is very scarce, the Sahara can claim the Ubari Lakes as its own. Located in the northeast of Chad, these 18 lakes cover a total area of 15 square kilometers. They are interconnected underground and are remnants of a larger ancient lake system that once existed in the Sahara, resembling a lush paradise. The desert, however, is considered unquestionable that over the last 200,000 years, the Sahara has flourished several times, and not just for short periods, but each time lasting for several thousand years. During the last ice age, when the tropical climate zone shifted north, the Sahara turned into a fertile savanna. The most recent wet period began around 14,000 years before our era. Many of our ancestors followed the spatial climate change and began cultivating the Sahara agriculturally in the 10th millennium BCE. But between 4000 and 3000 BCE, the next dry phase, which was constantly lengthening, pushed life out of the fertile Nile Valley. In the 5th century BCE, the Roman Empire arose again in the heart of the Sahara's oases, thanks to the immense wealth of these green spots. If we delve into more alternative circles, the Sahara was once home to a completely different people, most of whom are believed to have never existed by legend. The Sahara has been suggested as the location for the lost city of Atlantis, and the Eye of the Sahara may be a meteorite impact crater or the remnants of this legendary island kingdom. As these various attempts to explain it cannot be proven or disproven, there's still much room for speculation. In fact, we still have no concrete idea about the true origin of the mysterious Eye of the Sahara. One thing is certain. It's a massive structure in Mauritania, consisting of several circular mounds with a diameter of 45 kilometers. The Eye of the Sahara is so gigantic that astronauts use it as a crucial landmark. Those who see the remains of Atlantis in this formation point to some remarkable parallels with Plato's accounts. And it's not just the ring-like structure, but also the picturesque composition and some unmistakable rock formations. Furthermore, there are visible accumulations of traces that clearly prove that gigantic masses of water once flowed over this area. Now, moving from Mauritania to the Nubian desert, we encounter another equally impressive structure. While scientific minds fiercely debate whether the Eye of the Sahara has an artificial or natural origin, in this case, the matter is clear. This is a unique formation adorning the desert, primarily a prehistoric observatory known as the Stonehenge of the Sahara, with the slight but barely noticeable difference that the internationally famous English analog was created just 1,000 years later. Most researchers believe that the stone circle in Talai was used for calendrical purposes, specifically to determine the summer solstice. Based on this, people of that time knew when it was time to leave this region and move to the winter quarters under the desert sands. It was known that huge underground water reserves lay beneath the Sahara. However, several years ago, researchers discovered something that was previously unimaginable. Underground water in the desert is not as fossilized as once thought. In fact, many specialists believed that there was no replenishment of underground water there at all. The groundwater system covers an area of 1 million square kilometers. According to scientists' estimates, the underground reservoir contains nearly 1 quintillion liters of water. However, satellite data and measurements of the groundwater levels have shown that replenishment of groundwater in the Sahara does indeed occur, though it falls short of compensating for the massive water extraction. Each year, about 2.5 cubic kilometers of water are extracted, but only 1.4 cubic kilometers of water are replenished. Well drilling, which has been conducted in the Sahara since 1960, has already led to some sources becoming salinized or drying up. The Valley of the Whales. Whales are probably the last thing one would expect to see in the dry and dusty Sahara. Yet, in the Egyptian Wadi Al-Hitan, countless of these gentle giants lie dormant. Of course, we're not talking about living marine mammals, but ancient fossils. The Sahara was once home to the so-called Archaeochaetae. It is believed that around 40 million years ago, an ocean called Tethys still existed here. It was only when tectonic forces uplifted this territory that the marine tides gradually receded. Only remnants of the previous inhabitants remained, which, embedded in sedimentary rocks, have been preserved for posterity. In addition to the mentioned whales, researchers have also found corals, shells, fossilized shark teeth, and petrified mangrove roots. All of these provide a window into the distant past and tell us about the conditions of life at that time. What is invaluable for researchers in the past often flattens for transport. Thanks for watching our video to the end. Don't hesitate to leave us a thumbs up and subscribe to support us for free and stay updated with our content. Before you watch other videos, we would like to know your opinion. What do you think about the fascinating Sahara? What discoveries or information surprised you the most? Have you ever been to a desert yourself, and do you have anything interesting to share? We look forward to your comments.